I could never hold down. I never wanna let it go now. I just wanna keep it here right now. Like go.
Boom! What up, bitch? Heyo! We're back for the first episode. Yeah, just let him have his moment. We're back for the first episode of the old Candor thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It's Camar here.
Big Juan.
Little fish. Inside joke. We are here to discuss, of course, some LGBTQ stuff. Woo, rainbow. Woo. Anywho, we're here to discuss the coming out of defensive end of the Oakland Raiders, Carler Nassib, and coming out of Kumi Yokoyama. And then one more thing, but we'll leave that to the end. It'll just be a little clip at the end, so just hold on upon that. And then here we go. All right, so first off, Carl Nassib, defensive end, Oakland Raiders, comes out as homosexual this week. Big news during Pride Month, of course.
Yep.
Big news just because he's in the NFL. He's a defender, so there's a lot to take into that. That's a very tough position. It's a very manly job, and maybe that's stereotyping, but you wouldn't consider a homosexual man as manly. Not saying they can't be. I'm not really trying to put that out there. I'm just saying that the stereotype would not suggest that a homosexual man is very manly. So it was very manly of him to come out and put himself out there. And although I'm pretty sure at least a couple of his teammates knew, for the whole world to know. Because, the NFL is a very big platform. Maybe not on the global scale that they think they are, but they're a very big platform nonetheless. So, your thoughts?
I think it's brave. I don't think... Now that we're in 2021, I feel like coming out... it's not as, it's more surprising for the person than it is for them coming out being gay. I guess it's not surprising if someone being gay anymore. It's kind of like, now it's more respected. I think being gay, coming out as being more respected than it used to be. I feel like if he would have came out a couple years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, I think he would be very frowned upon, and I feel like a lot of people would take it differently. But now
he might not have a career. Let's keep it up.
And it's good that he did that, and it takes some guts, man. And I'm happy that a lot of people in the NFL, they showed on Twitter all their support towards him. People like I know Malcolm Jenkins was one of them. I can't name all the other players, but he was probably the biggest one that I know out of all the players that kind of came out and said something about it.
I'm just gonna know that. That freaked me out. There's something going on in the background that freaked us out. It was like a ghost move, and I was like, rotted. Yeah. But, personally, if I was his teammate, I would support him just because, that's a really tough thing to put your position. That's a tough position to put yourself in. When you're in the NFL, you're already in the spotlight, so you're already out in the open, you're already public. You don't just... Personally, I don't think it should be that way, but considering the times and how the internet, Twitter, and everything else works, social media, you're already in the public eye, and so to put yourself out as the first openly gay NFL player, although the platform itself is great in terms of, I guess the title holds weight to a degree, you know what I mean? Everyone's going to commend him for his bravery and stuff like that because he'll be the first person, but at the same time, that is a tough position to be in nonetheless.
But I'll say, I know he's not the first openly gay, but he is I think he's, because the last guy, there was another guy that came out.
No, I think he's the first openly gay. I said he's the first openly gay.
I think
there might have been another player that was gay and then retired and said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, there we go. That's probably what it was.
He's not openly gay. He was hiding it until he retired. So
yeah. Okay, yeah.
So you are trash. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck you.
I'm not really on I'm not really a part of that movement yet. I'm still coming around to it. Coming from a Christian background, that's kind of, difficult. And also being Jamaican, when I do it about my business. But, I'm coming around to it. I still respect them as people, and I think that all people should be respected equally. I just don't necessarily 110% agree with it. even from a scientific standpoint, but that's a whole different episode that we'll get into later. I mean, I'm not judging him or anything. Like, I'm glad that he's happy. I'm glad that everyone is showing him the respect he deserves as a human being. And I really don't think his sexual orientation should matter. Really and truthfully, I feel like that post, I wouldn't say it's irrelevant, because it's definitely relevant, but I would say that it's irrelevant in the sense that his sexual orientation has nothing to do with his capabilities as a defensive end. Whether he's gay or not does not mean he can't play football. And if he can play football and he can play at a high level, then he deserves to be in the NFL, period. Uh-huh. But do you have any other thoughts before we transition to Kumi Yokoyama? Yokoyama.
I'm not going to even try to butcher the name. No, and like I said, I supported 100%. I feel like no one should be... I think we should all be past that stage. Not me, but like I'm not with that. Not that I have anything against it, just not with it.
Yeah, like personally, I don't have anything against it. Like I'm not about, oh, I hate gay people. Like that's not my vibe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wouldn't say I 100% agree with it either. It's complicated. It just depends on how it's presented. In this case, it doesn't really matter. Like to me, it doesn't matter what you do in your personal life has nothing to do with it.
You like doing this? You like doing it? Hey, I don't judge you. Or if you like this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Should
the same thing.
What you do on your free time.
My thing is, who you lay in the bed with at night has nothing to do with me because I'm not paying your bills anyway. Yeah. Same way, who I lay in the bed with has nothing to do with you. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's
wait, hold on. No, we don't do that shit though. We don't know. We just
no one was even suggesting.
No, I just made sure.
Yo, cut that out. But point being is, like, I think to each and everyone's own, you should just show respect just because they're a human being.
Yeah.
You're no better than another person no matter what you've accomplished so far. What makes you different is how you're raised and everything else, but not who you are. Who you are, well, I mean, yeah, who you are is different. What I'm trying to say is you're not more special than anyone else. We're all equals. We're all trying to achieve something great. Mm-hmm. So, anywho, Kumi Yokoyama. I'm still not quite sure if she is a woman going to become a man, because she said when she retires she wants to live as a man, or if she was a man, became a woman, and then wants to become a man again.
If she opened out about being trans, then I'm pretty sure
she's becoming a man.
She wants to become a man.
But what if she was a man and became a woman? Alright, I have two views. This is where it becomes convoluted, and this is where I can get up. I could go from calm to upset. Especially considering it's athletics. If she's a woman becoming a man, to each their own. If she is a man that became a woman, that's BS. There is no man on this planet Earth that should be given any right whatsoever to compete on an athletic platform, especially at the professional level, with a woman. We are built differently. We are biologically differently. That's the highest level of disrespect. That's ridiculous. That is utter borderline ridiculousness. That should be illegal. You should go to prison for that. That's ridiculous. Prison. I mean, at least a felony. That's crazy. No man should or have any rights to become a woman and then compete in female sports. And now I get that they're going to be like, well, she's a woman now. No. You can't have the biological prominence of a man and then go compete with women and have great success and be like, oh, well, yeah, I'm a woman. No, you are a man that just went to become a woman to make your life easier. That's wrong.
I don't think
even if that's not what they did it for, it's still wrong. Yeah. You can't do that. I'm not going to put Conor McGregor versus Clarissa Shields. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. And I kind of agree, because I remember a while back when I was in high school reading the story about the girl that or the guy that came out into being trans and competed in a wrestling tournament
against girls. And guess who won?
He did. And the thing about it is, I think you're right. It's totally unfair. But then again, if you try to like make them compete, because they want to avoid being like, if they want to be a woman, you're not going to put them in a men's category, because their whole point of them is wanting to be titled as a woman.
They have to find a way to legally create their own category. You cannot have men transition to being women and compete with women.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree, because imagine me.
I don't care what estrogen they take. A man, it's always going to be biologically stronger than a woman, It's not sexist. It's not, oh, well, he's against the feminist movement. He don't believe in women. No, it's none of that. It's common sense. Men are built different from women. Our bones are more denser. Our muscles are more profound. And come on, man.
I mean, you'd be surprised when you meet those one girls.
I'm not saying that girls can't be strong. I'm not saying that girls can't. But they come in like. I'm not saying that an actual. Look, I'm not saying that a biological female can't compete with a dude. But if a biological female that's a professional athlete plays against a biological female, a biological male, the male is going to win 90% of the time if the skills are even. And even if the skills are different, the man's still going to win. Take, for example, Venus and Serena Williams. They played against, I want to say, the 500th ranked male tennis players. These guys are in like high school or college. Ranked tennis players in the world. 500. And they lost. They got washed out. They didn't win a single set. Take that into account. The U.S. women's national team, professional, the highest level. Matter of fact, they're world champions right now. The U.S. women's national team, world champions, played against 15-year-olds and lost. We're built different. We compete separately for a reason. I'm not going to have Amanda Nunes fight Peter Yan. For those who don't know the UFC, Peter Yan's an 135-pound Russian savage. He would kill Nunes in about 30 seconds. Dude. And Amanda Nunes might hit like a man, but she can't hit like a man, if you get what I'm saying. She gonna get knocked out. She gonna get slept. Let's keep it a buck. Like, she gonna get put to sleep. There's a reason they don't compete together. It's just a dangerous thing. And I'm sorry, that's a long rant, but if she is transitioning to becoming a man, to each their own. I hope she lives a happy life. I hope she really thoroughly thinks about the choice and enjoys the choice that she makes as she go along with her career. Because she's only 27, so she's got plenty of time. But I hope she really enjoys the career she has, and she's very happy with the choice that she's making. And if it was a man and he became a woman, that's disgraceful. You can't compete with women.
I wouldn't say disgraceful.
That's disgraceful. You shouldn't even call yourself a man or a woman at this point. I don't know what to call you. Yeah. Because to me, like, you can't compete with women as a man. That just doesn't make sense.
But it happens. They allow it. And
it shouldn't be allowed. You can't be like, well, it's to that. In that case,
I can tell you, it's unfair. It's unfair.
It's way unfair.
You have an advantage. I mean, not saying that women can't compete at a man's level.
If that's the case, I should just go join the WNBA and put on a wig. I'd be like Curry in that hole, bro. Like, come on now.
I don't know. I feel like they'd dominate the fuck out you. I'm gonna be honest.
Brittany Griner's like 5'11". Come on now, bro. I done.
But imagine this.
She can't even dunk. Really.
It's the skills behind it, though.
What skills? Man, I cross her up.
I mean, any athletic thing, I can't. I know for me, for instance, you got me fucked up if I'm going against someone, a professional female soccer player. I can't compete with that.
Well, that's because you know nothing about soccer.
I can't compete. Even
if I play against a professional female player.
How about this?
I'm not in shape right now, but I guarantee I'm winning.
If I played, let's say I did shot put in high school. If I went against a professional female shot put,
I put my money on you.
Come on, I couldn't even get that past like 25 feet. They're over here throwing like 40,
so tell
50.
me this. When you did shot put, were the standards set the same for men and women? Did they throw the same balls and everything?
No, the ball was
okay then. In the WNBA, is the ball the same size?
Yes.
No, it's not. In WNBA, the ball is smaller and the three-point line is shorter. For good reason. And the next thing that they should do, that the females don't want for some reason, because their pride is just way above their head, but no disrespect to WNBA players, but I don't see why not. Because people are like, the WNBA would be more exciting if they were dunks. But why are y'all playing on a 10-foot rim? The average WNBA player is like 5'10", maybe 6 foot, 6'1". The average NBA player is 6'5". That's a big difference. 4 inches is a huge difference. For those that don't know, 4 or 5 inches is a huge. If that's the average, that's a huge difference. That means half your players like 6'10". Mm-hmm. There ain't no WNBA player that's 6'10". Come on now, let's get with it.
I think there is.
I doubt it. I put money on it that there's not. How much you gonna put on it? What's the
tallest WNBA player?
I guarantee she ain't 6'10".
6'10".
She is not 6'10". No way.
That's exactly
6'10". Rotted, yo. Is she actually 6'10"? Nah, that's cap.
What you mean? Nah, it says it right
cap.
there.
Let me Google her.
Personally, I don't. My things are different. I know I can't compete at a professional female level, even if it's like fighting.
That's sad to say.
I can't. So you're telling me if you go against Amanda Nunes, what you gonna do?
Put her to sleep.
She gonna beat the fuck out you.
I'm gonna at least try, bro.
You can try. You can try. Listen, would you go against Ronda Rousey?
Of course, Ronda can't strike. No, I'm not sitting here pretending
Ronda
I'm
would
a fighter.
fuck me up.
I mean, she would. If she took me
Amanda
to the ground, she'd
Nunes
probably
would
break
fuck
my
me
arm.
up. If I went against basketball, because I don't have basketball skills.
6'10"?
I think the only thing I
She's
can.
not cute. I'm sorry, that doesn't matter. But
This fucking guy.
she is not though. Is she really 6'10"?
With, I guess with me, I know I can't
let me look
compete
up
at
the
a female
official
level
WNBA website.
with professional athletes.
Bro, she's 6'10".
Bro, yeah, she's 6'10". Damn, where my 20?
I
at?
lost all my money. Y'all see why you don't make bets? Don't gamble. Gamble responsibly.
I mean, I don't think anything. When it comes to physical contact, I think let's say professional fighting or wrestling, anything like that. When it comes to that, I don't agree with it. Just because, yeah, I think men and women are built differently. It's possible for a woman to take a man down.
It's not even a thought. It's scientific fact. We're literally built differently. Our muscle fibers are different. The bone density is different. Everything's different. Yeah. There's a reason men are stronger and taller and faster. Like, you could take the fastest WNBA player. She has nothing on the... She would compete maybe at the mid to lower range level when it comes to the males in terms of speed. But I could not see her being the highest level of fastest NBA players. You take the fastest female soccer player in the world, she has nothing on the fastest soccer players in the world in terms of the men division. No chance.
I don't know.
If you take Kylian Mbappe, I don't care who you get, Alex Morgan, Lorden Hetema, I don't care who you get. They're not going to compete with her. It's just not happening. Amanda Nunes cannot punch as hard as the strongest 135ers. It's just not.
If we ever get a chance to make a video
with Amanda Nunes,
I thought you were like stressed out. You're like, no. Bro, what the fuck?
I mean, it's frustrating, but I'm not that stressed. But if we ever make a video with Amanda Nunes, I would let her put me to sleep for a couple thousand maybe.
I would like
if she could though. If she could,
imagine if you got an opportunity. If she's like, okay, if you guys get in like a grappling situation,
if she taps me, then I have to like come out and say make a video saying blah blah blah. But if I tap her, then she owe me $6 million. No, just
that's a good meal right there.
I'm not even a couple thousand.
I'm not even gonna attempt it because I'm pretty sure. I mean,
I would.
I'm big.
I'm scared, Amanda. Hit me up.
I'm big.
Hit me up. I'm ready.
I'm big. I'm strong, but I feel like with wrestling as well, you have to. There's more of a skill.
No. I mean, you can definitely
technique. Skill.
I'm not gonna pretend that technique and skill aren't vastly superior to strength, but strength definitely plays a part. If you're the stronger person, you can will yourself out of certain positions. Once you get caught in certain stuff, you just got caught. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're not getting out. Like if she gets me in a rear naked chokes, takes the back, puts the arm triangle in, locks the hands behind. Once she gets that, unless I'm the Hulk, I'm probably going to sleep. So. You know,
because that whole man. As soon as you let that neck come up free, you're
as soon as she's under the chin, I'm done.
Yeah.
So, just don't let her take my back, bro. But her jujitsu knowledge is vastly superior to mine. But at the same time, I am a whole man. So, what's up with it, Amanda? Hit me up.
You're a
if
whole
you want some, come get some. Anywho, the last topic I wanted to discuss real quick was a New Zealand powerlifter named Laurel Hubbard, I believe is her name. Yes, Laura Hubbard, formerly male, born biological male, Gavin Hubbard, has decided to transition to female and rename him/herself as Laurel Hubbard. Sorry. But I don't know how to, I'm new to this. I'm new to this. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
And for the first time ever, a transgender athlete has. This is from the New York Post. Let me say this before I get outed. For the first time ever, a new transgender athlete has qualified for an Olympic team. New Zealand weightlifter Laurel Hubbard was selected for the national team on Monday and will be competing in the super heavyweight category in the sport. I didn't even know women had a super heavyweight. Born biologically male and originally named Gavin, Hubbard transitioned in 2012 and after competing as a male in junior matches. Hubbard's first competition was after transitioning in 2017 was a blowout. We're talking about powerlifting.
A whole blowout?
A whole blowout. Like, I've already ranted, so I don't really need to say that much. Because common sense will tell you this is rubbish.
Yeah.
There's no way a man should be competing with women. Whether he transitioned or not, or she transitioned or not, excuse me, but whether she is now Laurel, Gavin is still lifting. You feel me? So Gavin can't be competing and pretend that Laurel's the one doing it. Now, no disrespect. It's his choice. As long as he's happy, or she's happy, excuse me, I keep saying that. As long as she's happy. But point being is, she can't be biologically male and compete with females, especially in something like powerlifting.
No. I mean, yeah, that's totally unfair because you're going against these people that have worked so hard for this. Yeah. Not saying Laurel,
is like
not saying she didn't work hard for it. She did, but the fact that you
have a significant, you have like a 60% advantage from the get go. Even if you were the weakest person at the tournament, you have an advantage to start with because you're biologically built stronger. That's like being allowed to take steroids. That's like LeBron James. Say LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Kobe were all born in the same era. So say they all started playing, graduated high school, went to college, and were all 21 in 2030. And then you get Steph Curry, and he gets to take like some growth hormone, and he becomes 6'10", and then he gets to take steroids, and he's got like stupid speed. He can dunk, he can do whatever he wants on the court. They're not gonna be the GOATs anymore. Why? Because you got one person that's better than everybody else. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, it just doesn't make sense. That's like allowing all the other... At this point, let's just allow all the girls to take steroids. Just take steroids. Because at least it's level. At least it's fair. If they're taking steroids, they'll be just as swole as she was. Like, Laurel, formerly Gavin, has a significant advantage over all her other competitors. And that's just common sense. This is wrong. It's unfair. It's unjust. And I don't think the Olympics should have allowed it. And I understand the times, but we can't let the times blind us from what's right and wrong, period. That's definitely right and wrong. You should not allow a woman... Like, she's going to break all the records, and everybody's like... It's going to say Laurel Hubbard, and everybody's going to know that it's really Gavin. Like, let's take that into account. All the female record holders are going to be male. Think about that. Your sister worked so hard. She's worked all her life to become an Olympic wrestler to get slammed down by a man. Hey, come on, bro.
I'll say this.
What are we doing?
It's very brave.
Brave? That does not take bravery.
No. To come out as trans and to do all that, procedures and stuff like that, and go through the.
It's a brave choice.
Yeah, it's a brave choice.
It's a brave choice to transition.
The thing that sucks about it is, you're taking a lot of hard work and dedication from the people that are in that category.
Rightfully in that category because they're biologically male.
And I wouldn't say it's not right because
it's 100% right. Wrong.
I mean, I don't want to say it's not right. I don't think it's 100% wrong. It's just I feel like it's kind of hard. Because you want to get yourself out of that category if you don't want to be a male or a female.
My thing is, you can't be biological.
Now, if I would make like an area where you don't have to be male or female. You can be.
My thing is, it's not necessarily on Laurel. I'm not necessarily blaming Laurel. But it's on the governing bodies. It's on the Olympics. The Olympics, I don't know what their governing body is. Who cares? It's on them. It's on FIFA. It's on NBA, WNBA. It's on NFL. Well, if that ever... I don't think that's going to come up because there's no women's NFL. But, you know what I mean? The WNBA, FIFA. It's on FIBA, they need to come out with a way to make a transgender category.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say that's easy because it's hard to organize what's already present now. So, with due respect, I understand that. But there's a reason there's no transgender category in the UFC. That's dangerous. It's extremely dangerous for you to allow a male, biological male, that transitioned to female to compete with females. It's dangerous. If that was a fight, there was actually a man that transitioned to female and started fighting with females. And he damn near killed the lady that he fought. Her face was completely shattered. Both her orbital bones broke and other parts of her face broke. Please you're literally putting other females' lives in jeopardy. And no, powerlifting isn't fighting, but her name is, Laura Hubbard is going to hold all those records. And I don't want to say unjustly, but it is unjust. Because she's biologically male.
Yeah, it's not fair.
It doesn't matter how much estrogen she takes. She's going to have like at the very least a 30% advantage. And 30 is a lot. That's a lot. Everyone's at 100%, she's at 130.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about if you had 130% every day when you went to work. You know how much you get done? I just think we should if we're going to have this whole movement, the LGBTQ Pride Month and everything else, we have to come out with ways that organize competitions and stuff for them fairly. Like, I have no problem with them existing, obviously. I have no problem with the movement, but we have to figure out a process to where everyone gets their fair just due. This is not fair or just. This is just wrong. That's my view on it. I don't have anything else to say.
I mean, with me, like I said, it takes a lot of hard work from the people that were training to get there for you to kind of just take it away from them. It's kind of unfair. But I mean, they haven't came out with anything for them. I mean, same way what they did. I mean, the whole bathroom incident. You know, growing up, when I was in high school, I remember they would have issues with are transgender people allowed to use if he was what the whole bathroom situation. Not at our school,
we went to
but
the same high school. That
no,
never
not
happened.
at our school.
That never
not
happened.
at our school. I'm saying.
I'm like, bro, that never happened, bro.
No, in general.
How
about this?
First and
Wait,
foremost,
wait.
I know this is gonna.
No,
go ahead.
What happened when we were graduating? You remember when they wanted us to?
Bring that up.
When they wanted us to wear all the same cap and gowns. Because first of all, the thing that upset me the most was 2 of the people that stood up for it weren't even graduating that year. They were like juniors or sophomores, and one was a senior. And they wanted to have everyone wear the same.
Well, I have no problem with us all wearing the same cap and gown. There's a reason behind it.
There was a reason behind it, but then
half the people that were arguing for it weren't, even though they don't have to be, they weren't even gay. They weren't trans. They weren't anything. They just joined in because they heard everybody else talking about it.
Yeah.
They weren't even, I would argue, in support of it. They were just like, oh yeah, something to attach myself to. I want to be in. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, it's just, I think with that...
and my thing is, you should make that choice to be trans at 18 or 21. I don't think as a child you should be making that choice. That doesn't make sense to me. You shouldn't be having surgeries to biologically change what you have going on with your body while you're in puberty. That doesn't make...
I think it's better off to find out at a younger age than it is when you get older.
My thing is, you're not even mentally stable yet. You don't become mentally stable till like 25.
I'd rather let's say if my son comes out to be trans, I want to know that at a very young age. I want him to tell me at like the age of like fucking 7 or something. So I'm prepared for this shit. So instead of me raising him as a boy his whole life, I know what he's more comfortable with, or my daughter what she's more comfortable with.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, I don't want to raise my son into being... I don't want to force him into playing sports he doesn't want to play. I don't want to...
I mean, you shouldn't force him to play sports he wants to play regardless.
Well, even if he doesn't want to play any sports. If I want...
Don't.
No, because I want my kid
You don't have to be trans to do that. Just don't make him play sports. It's common sense.
No,
like,
I'm saying if my
I get
son,
what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, for parents out there, just don't. If your kid don't want to play sports, just
No,
Make
you
him
gotta be
compete in
fucked up.
something else.
My son's playing a sport.
He doesn't have to play sports.
He's
He can
playing
be
a fucking
competitive
sport.
at checkers or chess.
Who the fuck plays chess?
People that are vastly more intelligent
Trash.
than some of
Okay,
these
that's what
athletes.
happens. I'd rather have my son be an NFL or NBA star than be a fucking chess star.
I guarantee you he'll be more respected as a chess player.
And I bet you he'll make more money playing in the NFL.
That's facts.
But
big facts.
What,
Big,
my
big,
son's
big
gonna come
facts.
home with a couple $1,000 from beating some fucking guy in chess?
Hey, there's people that can play chess without a board.
That's fucking wild.
They play without a board or pieces. They just play with like their imagination. And both players will be like, all right, I move my pawn this way, and then the other person recognizes it. I want to be on that level of visualization. When you get to that level, you want something different, fam. Something different.
But in all
seriousness, though, like, for me personally, I don't feel like a human being... My thing is, if you can't drive, why should you be making a biological choice like that? To change your entire gender. You shouldn't. If we take into account what we learned from our generation and us growing up, you shouldn't at that age, before 18, be allowed to make such crucial decisions. You're not even allowed to smoke, you're not allowed to drink, you're not allowed to drive, but you're allowed to say you don't want to have a penis anymore. Like, just slow it down, break it down, and think about that.
I get that. I rather.
My thing is, like, you should just let them understand
Yeah.
who they are as a person growing up without the attachments, and then
The
when they
whole
get to
surgery
that
stuff.
age, then they can make that choice.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree with that. I don't
If they
want
want to
them,
say that they're a girl, fine.
Yeah.
If it's a boy and he wants to say he's a girl, fine.
But you don't want them to
don't
go
let
through the
him
whole
go
surgery.
through a whole surgery until he fully understands who he is. First, they haven't even hit puberty, so how do they know? Those sexual urges and everything else that naturally comes when you're a man or woman and you go through puberty haven't hit yet.
Well, I think what happens majority of the time, I'm not saying fully 100%, because you have people in the LGBTQ community that come out and say, I was born this way. This is what I was supposed to be.
I don't think you could be born as anything.
But
I can't say I was born like in Latinas. Like, that doesn't make sense.
But my thing is...
no offense. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if we're breaking it down, I
think
can't be
it's
like,
like-
I was born like in cake. Like, what? Nigga, what
I
you
say
talking
for
about?
half of the reason, them saying it's either they're saying they're born this way, or the other half, which a lot of people probably wouldn't agree, is what they're influenced by. What's influencing them into one or to thinking that, you know? I feel like that's also
When
because
this
you got a lot
episode
of
comes out, when this episode comes out, we're gonna drop a poll, and we're gonna ask the question: should a child be allowed to choose whether or not they can go through the transition surgery before 18? Yes or no? That's the question. Should a child be allowed to make that choice before 18? Not should they choose to be a girl if they're a guy. Not like say it, but should they be allowed to go through the actual surgery before 18?
and all that. Yeah.
The actual physical surgery, the actual injections and everything else before 18. And we'll let the public decide.
And it's
But
just
finish your point.
With me, I think that's how, because a lot of influence nowadays are more open of being, gay, of being trans, a lot of other things that are out there, but and it's respected, but you got to understand you have a lot of kids that are like watching these YouTubers, watching these people, and they're
there's
kind
a
of
lot of pressure nowadays with social media and internet to be cool. You got to be in. You got to be going to the thing. Like, my brother would literally wear the same shoes every school every day because he's like, I have a lot of red shirts, so I got to wear these red shoes so I have swag. I don't want to be like, I don't want to have no drip. I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about? You're going to school. You're not seeing anybody. Like, there's nothing happening, but these kids are under so much pressure to be at that upper echelon and be not famous, but famous in their environment. Be cool in their environment. And they shouldn't be like that. They should just be living happy. They're kids. Yeah. They have no consequences, no response. Well, let's pause on that. You have consequences, but they don't have major responsibilities. Their only responsibility is to be well educated and to figure out what they want to do with their life and be happy. Enjoy the freedom of being a child. Being a child is a beautiful thing, and they shouldn't have the pressures of our adult political views pressing down on them. They should be happy and they should be content. At the same time, they should be overly, or they shouldn't be homophobic. They shouldn't be racist. They shouldn't be prejudiced to anything. The only thing they should be prejudiced to is negativity. They should just enjoy life and be happy doing whatever they feel like doing.
Yeah.
Well, to a degree. I mean, I'm not about to sit here and say these 13-year-olds should be like lighting it up or nothing like that. But the point being is like they should just be enjoying life, going outside. Can't even do that because COVID. But going outside, playing tag, playing on swings as they get older, go skateboard and go play soccer, go play football, play with your Legos, play Pokemon, do whatever. Do whatever makes you happy, whether you're on the jock side, the geek side, who cares? But at the same time, the pressure of our political views and our political ideologies are pressing down on these children for no reason. And we're eventually going to take it to the point where kids are no longer kids. You got 8-year-olds talking about how they going to make this girl suck his dick. Like, what are you talking about? You're 8. You barely have a dick. You shouldn't be having these conversations. Mm-hmm. And these are the conversations we're allowing our kids to have. We need to be knowledgeable of what we're doing with these children.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that went from that to that, but I totally agree. I feel like
be negative, but
it's big on just not saying from what we started to talk about, saying anything had an influence on children nowadays, but just saying how things can be influenced into making people change their mind of what they want to be or who they want to be.
Yeah, as a child, you're extremely knowledgeable in the sense of you're sucking up as much information as you can.
Yeah.
So if the only information you're hearing is, oh, you got to be gay, then you're going to be gay. I'm not saying that's the reason they're gay, but that's definitely a contributing factor. If all that's getting shoved into their face is, oh, this person's gay, oh, this famous person's gay. If you want to be famous, just be gay. If you want to be famous, be trans. If you want to be famous, dress like this, do that. Like, no. If you want to be happy, just be successful, eat healthy, and be active. That's what we should be promoting.
Drink some milk, man. Drink some milk. Get your bones strong.
Bone density is very important. But yeah, just to wrap this up, because I feel like this was a really extended video. This has been Camar, this is Big Juan, and we'll see you next week. No, I'm just kidding. But we love your faces.
Thank you for tuning in. That's a good one.
Like and subscribe and catch us live. We're going to try and do a little streaming thing. It's without the video, though. So you're not going to see our faces, but you'll hear our voices. Our world-renowned famous voices like Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke?
Pop Smoke.
Pep Smoke.
Pop Smoke. But yeah, you'll hear our voices or whatever. We'll figure it out on the YouTube and thing. And yeah, we love you guys. Hit up the Instagrams. Check out Juan's Instagram for polls. I would do polls, but he got more followers, so let's keep the buck. It's not going to work. So, check out his Instagram for polls and that. Like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you want to see. You want to see us jump off a bridge into ice? We'll do it. I don't know about all that.
More like what we want to talk about. I wouldn't say really harming ourselves.
We are, when I finally get some GoPros, we're going to go skydiving and get that footage for you guys. That would be dope. You're scared of skydiving. We'll do one thing that he's scared of and one thing that I'm scared of. That way it's even. You know what I mean? Big man thing, yeah?
Skydiving? Fuck out of here. I'm not doing that.
Come on, man.
I can't. I'm scared of heights.
Either skydiving or that shark thingy.
Shark cage?
Yeah.
When we sit in the cage and there's sharks circling around us? I'd rather do that.
Then skydive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that.
Well, anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and cut it at that. Like and subscribe. Comment below what you guys want to have us talk about. And
up the chakra.
Have a good one.
Video's over.
That was great.